Hi, my name is Sierra, and I volunteered at Worldwide Lighthouse Missions during the summer this year. And one of the things that I experienced was when a family came in looking for clothes for their children, and I went looking on the shelves for some pants and just some things for children, and I was realizing I couldn't find anything. And it was getting colder, so they were asking for warmer clothes for school, and I was trying to find warmer clothes that would look nice, and I just couldn't find any, and I was getting really frustrated. And I went home after that, and I just felt really down about it. So that night I prayed to God, and I asked Him to, do a miracle and bring in more children's clothes. And my grandmother texted me like 2 days later saying we got 6 boxes full to the brim of all these clothes. And I just remember running into the living room where my mom was and saying, "Oh my gosh, we have 6 boxes of clothes!" And I was so excited, and it just really goes to show that prayer does change things.
Hi, my name is Shelly, and I'm here in the Giving Closet at Lighthouse Missions. And I wanted to just share a little thing that happened to me here. We had a family that was in need. The husband was a double amputee, and the daughter and the wife came in and to our giving center, and they were looking for things, items that they needed. They had tried so many places to get help, to help take care of her father and husband, and they couldn't find it. All the doors were closed. The insurance wouldn't pay for things, and they just couldn't find what they needed. And they walked through our doors just really frustrated, really downcast, really hurting in life. And they started to list off the things they needed and tell us their story. And we said, "We have that. We have that. We have that." And little by little, you could see their faces get lighter and lighter and lighter, like somebody cares. Somebody finally has what we need. And so we said to them, "Give us your list. We'll pack it up tomorrow. You can come and get it." Well, when they were leaving the Blessing Center that day, they walked out the door down the step, and the daughter just broke into tears. It was like a release. I started crying because I just was so moved by just what your giving has done, and just the fact that we had it here in this area was here for somebody in such a need. And they were just beside themselves that somebody cared. The next day when they arrived at our center, they were funny because it was like Christmas to them. They walked in here and their faces looked so different from the day before. Their faces were so bright and so energetic and so alive looking, and it was amazing to see the transformation as they came in and they looked at all the items on the floor and they got all excited like a Christmas day. And we helped them load up their cars and everything. And when they were leaving that day, the daughter grabbed me and she just hugged me and kept thanking us for just helping them meet this need and helping them take care of her dad. And we told her, I said, "If you have any other needs, please be sure to give us a call." So I want to thank you all that give, those of you that pray, those of you who support us financially, and in every way, those that volunteer to give your hours, whatever you do. The Bible always says, "In some having compassion, making a difference." And so today I want to thank you on behalf of Lighthouse Missions for your giving and for your time and for your love and your support. And thank you, thank you, thank you for always making us able to touch a life. God bless you all.
Just here to talk about last couple months being in the hospital and going through something that I definitely would never have imagined. It definitely makes you reevaluate when you go through something like I went through. I ended up in the hospital with 103 fever that I was running for like 4 days, and my sister made me go. So thank you Pastor Adrian. Um, and so I was brought to the hospital, and they sent me home saying I had a virus, and that I would need to just hydrate and take Tylenol and let it run its course. And so I was like, okay, big deal over nothing. And so they called me back the next morning, and they made a mistake. So they needed me back in right away, and they had found a bacteria that was a pretty toxic bacteria. At first, they thought I had meningitis, and so that was fun trying to wrap your head around that. Did a couple attempts on spinal taps, unsuccessful, and so they got me on an antibiotic, and finally got a successful spinal tap, and thank God I didn't have meningitis. So we were praising God for that, and but what did I have? And so we spent the next couple days with the doctors just trying to figure out what was going on with me, and I was getting frustrated because I didn't want to be in the hospital. I wanted to be back at work, and but through it all, first worry that they brought to me after the meningitis was that it was possibly colon cancer, and I think that was the first time that I actually got scared. And I don't get nervous about a lot of things. I don't. I'm kind of a guy that just, everything's like water off a duck's back, But man, that really shook me, and Pastor John and the church, they were connected and there the whole time and praying, and I felt the prayers, and so come to find out, the first thing that we figured out that I didn't have colon cancer. All those tests, I had just got a colonoscopy, so all those results were right there that they wanted. They said, man, we need to get you a colonoscopy, and I was like, I just had one, and so they got those results, and that cleared that. But because of this particular bacteria, they had to check out my heart. So they scoped my heart with a camera, and lo and behold, a stent that I had put in my abdomen for a collapsed vein 3 years ago, they found lodged in my heart. They had no idea how long it had been there. They were shocked that I didn't have any symptoms of fatigue or shortness of breath. They were blown away that I wasn't experiencing any side effects when I had this thing stuck in my heart, and the valve was totally destroyed. And there's a couple tests that they had to do, and there's a couple attempts to go get it that failed. So I ended up having to be, open heart surgery and my valve replaced, and which, I was put in the care of some of the best in the country, and the timing of everything, and like this bacteria that nobody could tell me where it came from, but without it, they would have never found the stent, which, the next time they would have found it would have been at an autopsy of, why did this guy die? And, just an amazing God moment of, if this wasn't this and this wasn't that, then they wouldn't have found this and they wouldn't have been able to do this. And, in one of the darkest kind of nights that I was having at the hospital, all by myself, and a couple of nurses came in and they started singing Goodness of God, and unbelievable presence of God came in, and the peace that just filled that wing of the hospital was just incredible. And there were so many God moments that took place throughout that whole ordeal, and then going home and spending 3 months out of work, but God kept my sanity, and through him and through the prayers of the church and prayers of my family, I was able to get through that and back to work and healthy and, getting stronger every day. So.
I got hit with a real serious anxiety, panic attacks, and a depression that was unshakable by me. And it lasted over 7 years. And the thing about it was, there's only one way that it could be broken in my life, and that was with God.
Watching Rob go through anxiety and depression was really hard. And sometimes I struggled, but I knew that Jesus was always with me. And not only that, but I knew that there were the brothers and sisters in the church that were praying for not only Rob, but were also praying for me. And I remember one day I got a card in the mail from a wonderful sister in the church, and the card said, "I'm praying for you." And my quick thought was, that's great, but I don't need it. I'm doing well. And I immediately realized, well, I'm doing it well because of the people that are lifting me up in prayer and standing with me. And I have a brother in the church that has told me that he prays for me every day. And that has helped me so many times when I was discouraged or having a struggle. I would think, but my brother is praying for me. And that made all the difference in the world. And I am so grateful. There is no greater gift that you could give to somebody than to pray for them.
And I remember when this was going on, I was so bound to my home, I could not even leave the house. I barely left to go to doctor's appointments, very few things. And my daughter had several accidents, car accidents that I could not even help her with. I didn't even go to my dad's own funeral. That's how bound I was. But through prayer from our former pastor we have now, he set his phone alarm every Friday and got up and prayed for me. And prior to COVID, he was coming by the house every Friday to see how I was doing. And I was, I say good, but that wasn't the truth. But because of God's grace and mercy, I was able to come out of this, and now I was able to take on responsibilities that I could not do. I was able to go back to work, which I didn't think I would ever do, and I'm so grateful that my company accepted me back. And now because of that, I've shared my testimony with my neighbor. I've met all my neighbors, which I haven't done. I've met all my neighbors like within the first 2 days. And then I go to work and I share with people. I don't preach to them. I just tell them what God did for me and what prayer can do for them. And it's been awesome.
Seeing Rob step out of that anxiety and into complete, full victory has been amazing. And it's really increased my faith to know that if God has done it for Rob, God can do it for anybody. Because through prayer, anything is possible when we have an almighty God.
Yeah. And my prayer is that somebody seeing this, they may be skeptical. They may say, it's an isolated incident, but there is this problem, this mental health is an epidemic throughout the country, throughout the world. And I remember hearing a message years ago saying that in the end times, the last battle we're going to go through is the battle of our mind, in our mind. And we can overcome that through Christ and by prayer for our brothers and sisters. So I want to thank everybody who prayed for me. God bless you.
Today, I want to encourage you to keep on praying. Prayer is such a powerful thing. And in 1 Peter 3:12 says, "The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayers." Church, God hears your prayers, and his ears are wide open. He is listening, and he is answering. Every day, many, many answers to prayer are coming in. Answers to prayer for financial needs, where people call back to say, God came through just in time. There is no distance to prayer. Your prayers are being answered at home and all around the world. A 10-month-old baby with malaria in the foreign country was called in for prayer. The next day, the answer came back and the baby was healed. God is so faithful, church, and we are doing this together. You're making a difference, and your prayers are help changing things. A lady that was so distraught about her sister that wasn't expected to live called for prayer. The next day she called back and said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." She said, "Keep up the good work. Your prayers are working." So church, I say to you today, keep up the good work. Your prayers are working. People are getting answers. People are getting help. Souls are being saved. People are getting delivered from depressions. People called here so depressed, crying, didn't know what to do with their life. And because of your prayers, they're getting set free.